What up, my freaks? RuinusInsight here with part 22 of my Total War Warhammer 3 modded Imrik Immortal Empires campaign. So as we saw last time, Imrik has acquired the 5th or 6th, I think 5th and last of the special dragons taming Brewer, the Protector of Life. Unfortunately, we don't get to keep the sort of all map-wide regeneration that he had when we fought him, but that's hardly surprising as it would be way too overpowered. What we do get with him is a Mortis Engine effect on top of an area slow and spell resistance reduction, which is fairly interesting in and of itself. The spell resistance in particular at -25, especially if combined with that other Trickster's Shard, should be pretty effective in dishing out magical damage for anybody near this thing. Certainly have to put some thought into what we do with that. Anyway, in terms of what we got to do this time, we are on the way to destroying the Bloody Hands. We've got 7 settlements, and we're hoping to knock them all out fast as we can. We got the Bloody Hands and the Exiles of Khorne, who we have not yet engaged in combat with, but I am excited at the prospect of Imrik and Menaethneir and getting a nice duel with Skarbrand, especially as it's turned 90, so I would expect that Skarbrand has leveled up fairly decently at this point. Plus, I suppose there's a lot of enemies down here, and there's also a decent likelihood that we're going to get forced into a war with Khemri. Not so much because we want to, but because everybody around here kind of hates Khemri. So, yeah, I mean, kind of used to it with Katep a little bit, as some of the Tomb Kings seem to get disliked by everybody around. Not as bad as Arcan, perhaps, because everybody on the map basically hates Arcan, with the exception of some of the vampires, but yeah, anyway, let's get moving, shall we? Arwinel, I do believe you're first, and you're gonna quickly take...
I control the flow.
It doesn't really matter. Go for Dragonhorn Mines, I guess. Can we auto-resolve this? Low casualties? Yes, we can. Alright, let's get the Banner of Eternal Flame on the Scions of Mathlan, as odd as that may seem for a Sea God-dedicated unit to carry a Banner of Fire, but they're just temporary in this army until we get more fire stuff in here. Lion Standard... Wait, why do you have the Lion Standard? Whoa, 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 whoa. Ruinous, what are you doing? Phaedian, you need a Lion Standard. If I can find it in here. Not the Banner of Illyrian. Did I miss it already? It's right here. Oh, we have 2 Lion Standards. Alright, well the other one can go to... I mean, it's a decent standard. It depends. It depends. It's still going to be a while until we get Phoenix Guard in this army, so yeah, we'll need to use these guys for a while. Anyway, let's put it on one of the spears. Actually, you know what? They're probably not going to do all that much damage. Just put it on one of the Rangers instead. Auto-resolve this. A little bit of damage, mostly to the melee line, but at least the range units got ignored, and so did more or less the dragons. We'll occupy the place and get a free Sword of Battle that we don't particularly care about. Not rank 22 as yet, but approaching that dragon for Arwinel. I do want her on the Moon Dragon because it kind of nearly matches the Sun Dragon, so it works well enough. Then what we want to do is we want to get this Crushing Noble for Imrik. Ugh, I wish it wasn't 50 influence, but it is what it is. Imrik still has to have the best, and Imrik needs a mage as well. As for which mages, Protective is pretty okay, but at 50 cost, it's a little bit on the expensive side. I think we're going to go for Primed instead. The targeting range plus 50% for spells should be quite nice, especially if we need to heal from a distance. And let's face it, Imrik's army does have a tendency, well, it's not a cohesive sort of formation-type army, and therefore they do maintain distance from each other. Anyway, Barded of Thilmar Steed for you, and you're going to have to stay on that, so be careful and maybe ride around with the Dragon Princes, as you can't fly around on an eagle. We should probably get Scouting maxed out as a first thing as well. It's not like Imrik really needs this, it's just a nice thing to have. Though I do like the idea of the Shield of Thorns on the Dragon Princes, as they're not, well, they're in a little bit more danger from dying, as we saw previously, in the previous episode, than the, well, dragons are. Belharathoy, you're up next. I believe you were going to go after this. Honestly, it doesn't feel like it's all that worth a fight, but we'll give it a shot. Let's see. Over here. Maybe I should put you into Lilith's Blessing. Yeah, let's go into the latest blessing. And what do we have here? It's still low casualties. I mean, it's still basic stuff, and frankly, we've seen the spears and arrows army fights. Oh, it's still gonna kill off the Illyrian Reavers. Well, darn. Oh, I guess they do have the Blade of Corn, which could potentially destroy a few of the units. Alright, fine, let's do a quick little fight. Why not? Go. Failure is impossible, you say. Ooh, I love the red sky with the sort of frozen territory. That just looks fantastic. Absolutely love it. Alright, everything's gonna be nice and visible. The blood on the snow, the red sky, glorious times ahead. Let's see what Bel-Herethoi can do. Another lord that was supposed to be deleted at the start, but, well, she's been around, and even though she's toting around, and the basic spears and archers, they have certainly paid their way. Frankly, I should probably replace like half of the regular High Elven archers with the heavy arrowhead variant, but maybe later. Anyway, if any of those die, we'll replace them with the heavy variant, but I'm kind of disinclined to get rid of a high-tier unit, or not a high-tier unit so much as a high veterancy unit. Anyway, the battle will start off with a Moondragon Breath from Bel-Herethoi's Moondragon as we move in to annoy the enemy army. Awakening of the Wood gonna do a tiny bit of damage on the Chaos Warhounds of Khorne, but it looks like by virtue of their loose formation, it doesn't really do all that much. Going to activate a Dwellers Below on some enemies here, but by the looks of it, only one or 1.5 maybe units will get caught. Fortunately, not being an overcast variant, it's not gonna cost us all that much, and it'll still do... Well, actually, it won't do all that much, but that's okay. Enemies just not blobbed enough. Right now, we're just trying to annoy them anyway, and hopefully the Eagle Claws will allow us to do so. Still, however, wishing that the Eagle Claws were able to be... not confederated. Vanguard deployed. I don't know. Confederated is the word I was thinking of, but anyway. They've got targets, and the targets for the Eagle Claws are going to be the Chaos Warriors. The Marauders, our spears can handle just fine, and hopefully the Chaos Spawn will get arrowed down, but the Chaos Warriors are going to be a little bit tougher in melee against the basic spears, so hopefully we can either keep them out of combat by forcing them to do the dance and avoid the shots from the Eagle Claws, or at the very least damage them so heavily that they're not going to be a threat. Still, we are outnumbered here, and we will get surrounded and hit pretty hard, I'd wager, and in fact, it's probably going to warrant a slight reposition of the way that our army is, well, currently positioned. So, we're going to move the archers into a sort of closer formation and then close the spear line to protect more of the blob, just to try to protect the flank against this massive pile of fast movers over on this side. Looks like an enemy exalted hero of Khorne is booking it towards us by himself, leading the vanguard, a solo one-man vanguard, and we'll reach our battle line with about 3/4 of his HP remaining. Now, that said, the enemy Chaos Spawn here is in pretty bad shape. The Auto-Resolve already hates these things with a passion. It looks like the non-Auto-Resolve ain't too happy about them either. Anyway, looks like our noble has already forced the exalted hero out, and the enemy flankers have arrived. We are, however, doing pretty okay in terms of keeping our lines together, at least so far. Most of the enemy units that have attempted to flank us have only been able to flank the spears and not the archers or the Eagle Claws, which is just the way we want it. I'm gonna pop a chain lightning on this blob of enemy marauder horses and continue defending. Shield of Thorns is up on those spears, and that'll allow them to hold all that much better, and the missile resistance offered by the spell will mean that they won't be taking as much damage from our own units. Chaos Spawn, of course, in the middle of the formation of spears, by the looks of it, about to go down and probably explode and do additional damage to our units. Or, okay, I guess it only explodes maybe when it loses particular points of HP, but not when it dies. I guess that would be more of a death blow sort of thing. Anyway, the spears are still holding, having taken a little bit of damage on one of the Illyrian Reavers out here. The rampage is not working for us, i.e. Bel Herathoy has been forced into the melee via rampage. This Illyrian Reaver unit, which should have withdrawn ages ago, is still in the fight, though they did manage to see off a unit of hounds. The hounds and the war horses together, or horsemen rather, together might be a little bit too tough for the relatively fragile Illyrian Reavers. Definitely got to get some silver helms for somebody, though as to who it still remains to be seen. Some of the enemy units have routed, but the same units have begun to rally and are once again charging our spear lines, but the Marauders will get poked to death with decent ease. There's that explosion coming in from that Chaos Spawn of Khorne, but it is down to half HP, and with the Noble working on it, it should be down as well relatively shortly. Still doing reasonably good on this flank, though the enemy has drawn very, very close to our formation of Eagle Claws. But not close enough, unfortunately, especially with the Illyrian Reavers, the second unit of Illyrian Reavers charging into the back of these Forsaken and forcing a pretty big morale shock in both the Marauders and Forsaken to go out. Chaos Spawn, last of the Chaos Spawn unless I'm mistaken. Oh, I never knew there was a big old axe embedded in its head. Oh, that's neat. Huh. Cool. Or is that supposed to be an axe, or is that supposed to be the is it supposed to be the Mark of Khorne? Kind of hard to tell. Looks like an axe to me. But I guess in some ways you could say the same about Mark of Khorne, depending on how stylized it is. Anyway, it looks like with that, the enemy army will fail and will give up on it. The Chaos Warriors, by and large, never having really reached our lines, as the Eagle Claws did manage to take care of them. 913 damage on them, 111 kills, 27k damage, and 19k damage and 57 kills on these. I mean, between this army and the Eagle Claws in Arathon army, I think they've been doing pretty well. I've been pretty impressed with the Eagle Claw bolt throwers throughout this campaign, more than I expected to be, or at least more than I remember them being. I take it they have a few decent buffs in SFO that make them a little bit more useful than they are in vanilla, or at the very least a little bit stronger. Anyway, nice fight. Alright, there we go. Maybe the auto resolve wasn't quite wrong, as one of the Illyrian Reavers units got very heavily damaged. On the bright side, though, despite the relatively low tier and extreme fragility of those units, they did pretty darn well, out-damaging most of the spears at the very least, and I'd say about half of the archers, so everybody performed reasonably well. And these guys ain't even at rank 7 yet, so they'll get better. And they better, because the only army will ever put them in, because the auto-resolve hates them and gets them killed every time. And we're going to occupy the place, rather than... yeah, just occupy. It's another red territory, but Grand does have a fairly nice and very nice landmark. Damn those Dark Elves, they keep getting nice landmarks in their territory, even though we don't want it. But oh well. Plaza for the Great Arena, and then we'll hit Grand and the other stuff next. Alright, who is up next for us today? Architect Luaron, you don't need to move. Lauritian, you should have another island. Alright, this island. This island screwed us. Previously, the Remnants of Battle didn't have a fight this time. Did we actually move out of it? You know what? Make sure that you do. So, and sail to the wreck, and auto-resolve, and take the, take the healing. Since you don't have a noble, it's just easier this way. Now the question is, are you rank 10? You are rank 10, perfect. Control +4 for own local province. Okay, you definitely don't need a Neotanian Vintner in the sea. Helm of Fortune. It's like Armor of Fortune. Huh. Armor +4, melee defense, physical resistance. Kind of similar stats, but, well, just an inferior variant of it. Seasoned Campaigner, nice. And Sunken Booty gives us Lost Cargo, fantastic. The growth +30 alone is super worth it for us, but the income from all buildings, I think, bumped us up by, like, 3,000 gold per turn. Very nice. It's not materials at sea, but we'll certainly take it. Lauritian, you are obviously going to dedicate yourself to Mathlan, and getting further reduction for Gateguard and Lothern Seaguard, plus income from ports faction-wide. Beautiful. Alright, and we're up to 24k with that. Lovely. Next up, there's more islands down here that we do have to... Oh, we can reach this mysterious island as well. There's no other islands here, is there? Well, there's one all the way back here. Wait. And there's more over here, though. It's hard to say whether these guys will take them. At the end of the day, this is a Lothern Sea Guard army meant to patrol the coastline and to Curse of Cannibalism. Okay. Nothing interesting out of that. Lose those. What was I saying? Oh, right. We're meant to get a valet. You're missing a valet. Wait. Do we have valets in this campaign? Herald of Mathland, Food Taster... I actually think we don't. Alright, that was a different campaign. Alright, fine. I meant to gather islands, man. I am definitely a pro at interrupting myself constantly, never allowing myself to finish a thought. Anyway, Melinda and Architect Denna, you were both fine, as we already did buildings last episode for this particular turn. Arandir is fine as well. And ooh, we have 35 influence remaining, which means we're going to spend it on another lore master, specifically. I noticed that, wait, yeah, so Fruitful still gives growth +5 to all provinces. Fecund is also growth +5 for all provinces and +50 in local, but the local we don't care as much about, or at least not nearly as much so. This is faction-wide and still very worth it. If we could pick up a bunch of other Fruitful lore masters with a decent amount of influence, we'll certainly do it. Go for it. Huh. I wonder if we could, or if we should put a few of these into Teclis's army. Again, I wanted the... what were they called? Not the nobles. Disciple ones in Teclis's army, and we'll still try to get a couple of these up. Man, just 2 of these will give a +20 melee defense for accompanying Lord. So if we get 2 of them for Teclis, and a 20% cooldown reduction as well, we definitely have to get Teclis some of those. I'm almost tempted to forego the Fruitful one, but it's... we need a campaign-wide buff more than we need a single Lord buff, you know what I mean? Anyway, we're not going to bother with your points right now. You can just keep growing the Fortress of Vorag, which is at 299, which ain't bad, but, you know, more growth, ever more growth. I still don't understand how the Dark Elves have a tier 5 and we just got to tier 4. Just out of curiosity, actually. Let's take a look at the Lizards. Okay, so you're tier 4, you're tier 3, and the Baros is a tier 4. And I believe Katep was also tier 5 here at Cleric Spire. So, I don't know how he outgrew us either. We're pumping everything we can into growth. He has one single province, and he doesn't even have growth in every single territory. In fact, he only has 2 of the growth buildings. This is probably just the AI cheating, but I do wonder how much of a cheat the AI gets in terms of growth, because that surprises me. Especially as the Tomb Kings grow rather slow, and they build really, really slow, as we can see in the Katep campaign, in the sense that the buildings take like 10 turns to come up, etc, etc, etc. But I suppose the AI doesn't have to deal with that as much either, because it doesn't have to deal with the negative public order as much, at least as the player, especially in the early game. But anyway, I digress. I believe we're good to go. So Lord not moved, Garrison Lord unassigned, skill points, building upgrades, heroes not moved, outpost available with Talzin and Karakazgaraz, which we can't do. Outpost upgrade available in Kunlun. Yeah, do that one. And Elisali. Do we care about this? I don't think so, because, well, I mean, it does give us additional influence, but it's only +4. I was only caring about the units there, and the only ones I think are the ones that allow us to build unique units like Avalorn. Unfortunately, you don't actually get access to the unique units from Eltharion, which is a bit of a shame, but, well, what can you do? Anyway, Avalorn is good, and... Really, Nagaryth? Again? We just pieced out... Oh, for the... Okay, Nagaryth has to die. This is ridiculous now. They've declared war on... they've declared a war on Katep. Now they're declaring war on Heralds of Ariel for no reason. Enter war inside of ally. We just gave them a territory, too. Arathon, kill them all. Frickin' Alith Anar. Yeah, man, don't bother fighting Chaos. It's the Wood Elves that are the major threat. The frickin' isolationists that more or less just live in their territory and don't corrupt anything or anything. Yeah, those guys are the major threat here, not Chaos. Can Noctilus decline? I don't know what's up with Alith Anar's AI, and yeah, we share some borders with him, but yeah, okay. Ah, and I gave up a territory I didn't want to give up for it. Whatever. It looks like we're not going to be confederating Alith Anar. He's just going to have to die. I don't think we can force a confederation with him if we just destroy him, can we? At least as far as I know, we can't. Like, we can subjugate him, but that doesn't really help us. Anyway, Erathond, I see Alith Anar. Is he in range of you, sir? He's not in range, but he is rather close, and what are you doing? I don't know what you're doing. I also... Oh, Valkyria's back. Not for long, though. Wait, Shakara, another Shakara? Shakara is also the leader of Karant Kar. I'll go figure. Anyway, ready for duty, Rodar Prince. I don't know who you are, and I don't know who well, actually, I do know who Larithiel is, but... Dragon Armor. Enemy hero action success chance -10. Bonus versus large +15. Well, that's lovely. A Drake's Secret's up and running. Good. More research rate and stuff, but this does put a smile on my face. We can make Imrik hit a little bit harder in terms of anti-large. He only has 10 anti-large, eh? I suppose what we can do is take out the Scout and the Raven Keeper, and give them to a hero rather than to Imrik himself. I was kind of liking the extra campaign range vision, but it's, let's face it, it's not super necessary. A Raven Keeper and Scout, we'll take them out, and... Do we want to raise our standard on the Dragon Princes? I mean, they're relatively low in model number, so it won't be as valuable as it would be to like a unit of Phoenix Guard or anything like that. So I'll think about it. I'll think about it. And Imrik, you do have the Lichbone Pendant, so that's fine. For now, we will give you... Oh, you don't have a Bard? Yeah, but you heal well enough anyway. What was I looking for? I forgot while ranting. As I do. Dragon Armor, yes. His wares are forged at the volcano's molten heart and enchanted to resist almost any blow. And I don't know what else we'll put. Oh, we only have the one Scout? Interesting. Nonetheless, you... Scout, and you also Raven Keeper, and we still get that nice campaign line of sight, I think. I'm actually not 100% sure what happens when you do that, in the sense that if it's in the hero's army, or the hero in an army, or rather than on a lord, whether the campaign line of sight still works or not, but it's not an easy thing to test, so I haven't done so. Anyway, let's get Rodar into Imrik's army, and let's get Varan to follow as well, before we attack, so that they can start leveling. Lovely. And you can auto-resolve this, I take it? Yes, indeed you can, probably. But why? Why did it hurt the mage? Oh, don't tell me the mage is going to be an auto-resolve issue for us. I hope not. Hey, another Seer Staff of Sapphire. I keep finding those. Not something I'm complaining about. Noble Prestige for you and head to Ekrund, though I fear you're going to have to wait until Imrik comes around. It'll kill off the Rangers. Granted, the Rangers will be replaced in this place, but we'll just wait a turn for Imrik. It's not like we're in a hurry here. And until we actually declare war on the Exiles of Khorne, we don't have to worry, and I think we'll actually send Imrik down to the Sunken Kernark first, and possibly even to the Floating Village to knock out these two factions before going down there. I also noticed that Galbaraz is actually owned by Clan Scryer. Is Clan Scryer at war with the... No. In fact, they're allied with Scarby. Huh, that's kind of interesting. Okay, well, go figure. Fun stuff for you. Anyway, let's keep going. Feyadyen, with your lions. I mean, in theory, it would probably be more beneficial to send her up here. However, we can get her into combat faster by going through Sylvania, maybe having her conquer Castle Drakenhof and stuff like that. There's also mountain territories here around Karak Dromar and stuff that would be nice, and it would enable us to get the Lion Army into combat a little bit sooner, so I think that's what we'll do. Daedraris, you are going to give those Athilmar chariots to the Fire Army, mostly because I don't know where else to put them right now. Or maybe I like the idea of a Thilmar glinting in the flames. Why not? Recruiter Fern Harvest. You're supposed to give it Tilnai your stuff. The thing is... Okay, wait, let's move the heroes first, because there's a bunch, and we have to figure out who goes there. Oh, wow, that's... 5% to get wounded? I don't like that. Do you have a Beard Weaver? That's with a Beard Weaver. Alright, better not die. Alright, he succeeded. Good job. Get you more specialists, shall we? Alright, let's just move all the heroes around, because, yeah. We're gonna end up taking territories, and then it'll get confusing. You go here. And no level for you, unfortunately. Tech Thief, you're going to steal from Grand, yes? And another success, beautiful. And we will get you Block Army, just in case we have to chase somebody down. Influencer, go out here and check out Spite Reach.
Smash it to ruins.
I wonder where Sigvald is. I know that he had a full stack, but we have to keep an eye out on our coastline, because he could say, oh, Throggy. Would you look at that? Why are you out here? I see Throggy and Be'lakor. Tyrion. You're gonna die, I fear. Be'lakor has Cold Hellbrass and the Blue Scribes. That's a nasty combination. Good for him, though. Maybe we'll send an army up and around to deal with him. Oh, man, you really need to level, dude. Veil of Woe, please. Oh, you were lucky. You were at 2 out of 3. One more failure and you would have become Beledna the critical failure, so it was a close call for you. Secure Influence and into, I'm gonna say knowledge of... Lizardmen Affairs or Men's Affairs. Ports versus Industry. The thing is, we still don't have a lot of ports, so I'm gonna say Lizards again. Plus, we've gotten a lot of Lizard friends, so why not? Get a little bit closer to them. Arondir and Arathon, you guys just stick around here because I don't know what to do with you, so you're just gonna keep on growing these places. Tech Thief, the other Tech Thief, you've got a long way to travel as you will be stealing all the tech from Pestilence, though I'm not entirely sure what kind of tech we could possibly want from those plague rats, but, you know, we'll see. Melinda. I've been keeping you around in case you need to defend against the lizards, and I think that's still going to be the case. What is this? That's a sea corpse. Almost tempted to move her down here to... You know what? I moved down to Vol's... Wait, trespassing? Ah, okay, Tyrannok, fine. Well, alright, we'll move down to Torsatha and stuff. We'll get her just some basic troops just in case we have to defend against a sudden onslaught by the lizards here. We'll still probably have to knock them out, unfortunately, especially since they've broken all of our agreements. But we need a proper army to go down there. Arathon, it's time to kill bloody Alith Anar. Go to Black Creek Spire, and let's hope that Alith sticks around at Slaver's Point for us to attack him afterwards. Alright, this is going to be an auto-resolve. Let's hope it doesn't hurt our units too much. No, okay, we're good. And in fact, maybe if the enemy is... ooh, a giant blade, nice. Maybe if the enemy is baited into attacking us here, that would actually be swell. Man, I was going to trade the Blacklight Tower to frickin' Takata for the Shrine of Cain, and you screwed it all up, Nagaroth. You screwed everything up. But yeah, I think after this I'm salty enough at him to probably not confederate him, and, well, to be fair, we're late enough into a campaign that there was always going to be at least one lord that we were probably not going to be able to confed. Although we'll see what happens once he's down. Anyway, we'll occupy the place. Did you ever defeat Valkyrie before? No, you did not. Plus 2 melee attack. The armor-piercing weapon damage not super helpful on Bel Herathoi, because she's a mage, but, well, on a dragon. Anyway, let's see what else we got here. Architects, no, I'll move you afterwards. It's Hilnai. Alright, I was trying to decide where exactly to send you. We have Karak Angazar, rather. There's Karak Angazar and there's Karak Asgaraz, isn't there? Or am I crazy? I'm sure that there is. Let's see, there's Doc Karaz. Alright. Assuming that we send Arwenil around to Stone Mine if she goes north. Although I was gonna send her south as well, but she also well, you know what? She's gonna need a retrofit. We got phoenixes and stuff coming in from Recruiter Zamdilla. At least 2 phoenixes. We gotta get her more, but we don't have the capacity for a little bit as yet. Or in fact, wait, let's take a look at the capacity while we're at it. We'll get 1 more regular phoenix capacity, which only gives us 3, which is a little bit iffy. Anywhere else do we have phoenixes coming up soon? I'm not entirely sure. We do got more sun dragons coming in from the Dragon's Lair. Finally starting to get the dragons on the field. And just checking for locations where we could build a Phoenix Shrine or a Shrine of Assyrian. We also need to tech up to tier 5 at some point so that we can get Phoenix Garb. That one's taking a while. Anyway, until now, I keep skipping over you. I think we are probably safe to leave Stone Mine Tower. It is decently well defended. If we go to Angazar, we can actually trade with Fern Harvest. On the other hand, we could do the same thing in Matorga. You know what? I think we'll just take Stone Mine Tower. I feel like it's safer to do this and then go back up rather than leaving it here, because it's surrounded by territory which isn't well defended or really defended at all. Auto resolve and occupy. Lovely. Another Horn of Vol, which is actually not so bad, and especially if we stack those in a single army. I'm gonna go to Matorka anyway, so we'll put Recruiter Fern Harvest here. Huh. Or I could swap out some units and temporarily give them to another army. You know what? I kind of like that idea as well. Go here. And then land. Like so. And we'll trade now. This will make Atilnai's army weaker, but it'll make the battles a little bit more fun for her. U5. 4. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We could lose 2 of the Lothran Sea Guard without shields because we could trade them for Gate Guard, who also don't have shields. And then we need to make 3 more, room for 3 more, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6, 7, Alright, I guess we'll get rid of some of the shielded ones. Like so. Alright. Once again, it's not a super necessary number of Illyrian Reavers, it's just that I want them in this army so that there's a little bit of variety here. Especially since this is our fighty Lothran Seaguard army, as the other ones are not fighty ones, if you know what I mean. Anyway, Fern Harvest, keep those Seaguard around. We're gonna pop them into Arwinel's army for now, just to, you know, retrofit it a little bit while it waits for its reinforcements. Alright, who's up next? Teclis. Alright, now... these guys did manage to defend themselves. Good for them. We're going to actually send you up to the Temple Avenue of Gold. I would like to send you down here, and we probably will, but the thing is, we really want Kairos gone. I don't want him to pull off any more shenanigans. And the Temple of Avenue of Gold is where we're going to make it happen. Huh, we'll probably land and he'll probably ambush us, but that might not necessarily be the worst thing. And we should still be able to knock him out with Teclis. How much spell resistance does he give to his army? Is it maybe an on-field effect? It's weird that he doesn't have any spell resistance. Well, whatever. For now, it's not a concern. You are going to go into Noble Prestige, and we are going to actually sack the Skullcarver's Abode with Gwyndian moving in as a reinforcement. And the reason we want to sack it is to try to get this guy to capture it. That would be ideal for us. Pyrrhic victory. No one will die, however. Hopefully you don't take so much damage that... No, okay, you're fine. I was a little bit worried about the... What is this? Oh, another Feloriath's robe. You don't need that on a fighty lord. That's for mages. Rana, Bard of the Thilmar Steed, and can you enter and camp? Yes, you can. Alright, both of you stay right here and act as reinforcements in case this guy tries to take Skullcarver's Abode. This would really help us out because we could then trade settlements to him and get him to be our ally. Speaking of trading settlements, unfortunately, by the looks of it, we have to give up the Lost Palace and Volotrex right now, or else these guys will just rebel. Should we stop taking this guy's money? Well, we still need money, so for now, no. Later, maybe. Alright, go Sapahwax, there you go. And we still have Volotrex, which will still rebel. I don't rebel right now. Alright, good. We can wait a few more turns and get even more money, or possibly trade it to these lizards. Alright. At least several of the lizard friends are now happy with us. Everybody else, I believe, is good. Minus Larishian, who was going for another island down here. Hamlin Gorst. We have Helman Gorst at home. I always wonder whether these are coincidences or whether the AI does these sort of things on purpose. And sail to the wreck, and auto resolve, and come on, big money. Heal up.
Put them in fetters.
Alright, no new lost cargo by the looks of it, and no new materials at sea. A shame, but oh well. Alright, Hunter, treasure down below. There can always be better treasure. Alright, now. Do we go up here? There's 2 islands here which have potential. No more islands around Conquata. You see the Nemesis Crown out there as well. We could also sail southwards, but I don't see nearly as many islands down here. We also still have to wipe out the Vampire Coast. We could also help against these guys. What does Torikar give us? Upkeep production for White Lions, War Lions, and Lion Chariots. These guys should, in theory, retake it. Wait, what? No, take Torikar. What are you doing? Why are you going to Longyi? What the heck is wrong with you? Hey, hi. Why are you like this? Oh, man. And also, please would you wipe these guys out? Why are you incompetent? Anyway, I guess we're still going to the islands. That's what this army is for. It's not for conquest, and I won't treat it as such. Alright, and I do believe we're good. Now, pick a tech, any tech. Well, not any tech, but pick a tech. We have Sanctioned Expedition, which is upkeep production in enemy territory. Income from post-battle loot at the cost of entertainment buildings, which we will get, but only once we can counteract it, I think, with the Die Maker, which will take a little bit. Airborne Scouts will give us Lord and Hero Recruit rank, which isn't horrible. Instruction time, global recruitment capacity +1. The rest of this isn't as crazy, unless there is a really nice sort of item that's affiliated with this. Disciple of the Phoenix isn't bad. Research rate +5 and wins a magic power reserve. But I think we'll first start with awakening the Ancient Ones. And then we'll move on. We still need so much more research. I mean, look at all this. Well, I mean, Oathwan's Glory and Military Advancements 4 are only available once you get to Tier 5, so we don't even have access to those as yet, which explains why we don't have them. Anyway, let's see what we got in terms of building. Alright, I'd prefer not to go through them one by one, but we kind of have to if we want to reduce stuff. Anyway, let's go for the estate here, and for the promenade, and for the, I guess, Elven Craftsman. Still would love to replace those growth buildings here, but, well, for now, what can you do? Switch back to Banish Corruption. We'll upgrade the Elven Craftsman for not as much reduction. You are not ready for an upgrade, but wait, let's take a look at Architect Luaran. Crookback Mountain will be ready in 2 turns, but I believe... Well, let's just take a look here. I did want to get rid of this thing at the Fortress of Vorag and replace it with maybe a Phoenix building or something like that. I mean, I know it's growth reduction, but it's a tier 4 that I feel is being wasted right now, so I think we can take better advantage of it. Yeah, alright, I think you're good. You will return to Crookback Mountain in 2 turns. For now, I'd like you to proceed southward to Fortress of Vorag, and we'll do the same thing for the other architect up here. Frickin' Alith Anar. Alright, what do we have here? Nagarond is fine. Harkaldra is, well, still able to take advantage of this. And we'll go for the... I don't know, I guess the plaza here. We could also sort of build it out to be somewhat military-minded, but... Oh, this is a concern. If these guys build an army up here, there's nothing to defend this, except for Kotep, I guess. Also note that there is no landmarks here, so we are free to give these territories to Kotep or to the Wood Elves. And we, well, there's a good chance that we will. Anyway, let's, you know, let's just do the ones that are already available, as in the buildings that are already available, and not switch anything else around right now. Dragonhorn Mines, let's go for the plaza here. We don't need the military structure at Bitterstone. We'll go for Blood River Valley and build up that fur thing, though I don't think we actually get anything out of furs. For some reason. And what are the White Lions wearing is what I would like to know, but anyway. Abyssal Glacier, Voltrex will be trading, so we don't care. Spiteful Peaks Grand, yes, we want you to grow, but we'll start with the gold mine. Actually, no, I lied. We'll start with the Public Order, because it's pretty horrendous here. Corn Corruption will do that. Alright, Storag Core. Do we want to upgrade you, or do we want to wait for Clarkar? And frankly, it's going to take 7 turns anyway, so maybe it's better to just upgrade Storag Core. Start on it. The growth isn't so bad that I think this will grow to the appropriate level anyway. Griffin Gate we can ignore, 8 Peaks we cannot. Do we want to switch you? Nope, next turn you can upgrade Carrick 8 Peaks Overlay of Sorrow, Eastern Badlands. Dringo Karaz will be the prioritized one because it has the Woodsman's Hut. We'll go for the Plaza here, Plaza there, and growth here. And the Black Flood, Hag Grief, yes, to tier 3. Gotta love that Hag Grief building. And go for the Colonnade and go for the Exotic Animal Tamer as well. And we're good. Alrighty, Diplomacy check and then into next turn. Alright, what do we have here? Khemri, no. Mountaineers want to trade. I frankly don't know how you're alive. They probably revived via rebellion, because it feels odd. Jade Court is almost, or Jade Court, Ice Court rather, but also the Jade Court, is still alive as well. I mean, they might survive if Phaedian and the Lion Army get up there quick enough to bail them out, so they could potentially become a decent ally. Cultus Sotek, not quite ready for that defensive alliance, but getting there. Vissenland and Nuln, rather. Do you want a military alliance with you? I mean, there's potential for it. You know what, let's give them a few turns. It depends on just whether Altdorf survives. They're being raided, they're being besieged, it's, yeah.
At your service.
They may serve no purpose. And that's it, alright. Wait, I lied, that's not it. We want to go to this, and we want to see ally missions. Yeah, there's no way we're defeating that convoy. We'll wait for another mission from you. Avalorn, you, however, we can take a mission from, because we actually do want some of your stuff, potentially. And I would also like to see the outpost. In fact, let's take a look at all the outposts now. Outpost... I mean, the tier 3 may not be super worth it, but the tier 2s are pretty much always so we'll build the tier 2s. Increase that influence fairly decently. We do have the money for this particular turn, so we may as well make use of it. And Karak Asgaraz is alive, and we ran out of money. Oh, that was all of our money. Whoops. Should have upgraded the Ghost of Pechwax one. Oh well. Oh well. May have overspent, but oh well. Garrison Lord not moved, unsigned skill points end turn. And we're good. Alrighty, once again, while the turn is ending, while we did not quite reach the engagement threshold, we were reasonably close. Ah, yes, okay, as long as they occupy this place. Please do. Come on, occupy it, please. Nobody died here, right? Okay, no, I didn't even check, I got so excited. Occupy? Yes! Thank you! This better not count as trespassing, since we... This is gonna count as trespassing, isn't it? I swear. AI. Oh well. Elspeth, you still want that military alliance. We're gonna hold off, see if you can't hold on to Altdorf. Anyway, we didn't quite reach the engagement threshold. We'll still do the hour-long this time around. It did do better than the Kateb campaign, after all, though we'll play it by ear for next episode. Especially if the interest tends to drop further. And we're good. Alright, no more attacks. Now, this excited me. Yeah, they don't like the trespassing. I get it. And the last defenders ain't too happy about it either. But anyway, Supervisor, spell resistance... Wait,
It shall be done.
you don't need that. And Banner of Eternal Flame, another one. Swell, but not for you. Rite of Awakening performed for Itza, ready for duty somebody. Technology researched, upkeep production for dragons. Now, you guys need to leave. You guys need to leave immediately before these guys get too pissed off at you. It does mean, wait, unless they're willing to... a moment. How much is Volotrex worth to you? Enough for military access and stuff. They can share the territory, I don't care. Do it. There we go. I'd rather be able to maintain healness. Anyway, you two will then proceed in camp stance up here while we slowly move towards Occam Forever Maze. We probably won't be able to take it without Teclis anyway, so that's just fine. Alright, speaking of Teclis, you are going to land right here in Kairos' domain. I'm gonna hope that he attempts to attack you, but we'll have to see.
Weighing anchor.
And you can go into Lilith's Blessing, I guess. Alright, also your Lore Master is now at level 30 and has another point available to him. We did get the good stuff, though. And we still don't have Lore Master or Swords Master. I mean, we do have a few available to be built, but not a lot. Out of all this stuff... I'm gonna save us some wild form. We still do periodically use it to upgrade everybody, though to be fair, Teclis is really the one who's casting in this particular army, and that's not super liable to change. Anyway, let's keep moving, everybody. Imrik, you are going to reinforce outside of Ekrund here. Oh, gonna take like all your movement, really? To march stance. Right here. I'd still like to move him southward, so... And hopefully, with Imrik reinforcing, we'll be just fine. Yeah, okay. Okay, it still hurts these guys, but they're still leeching XP, which is what we wanted. Occupy the place. Moondragon for Arwenel, beautiful. Dawnstone, Channeling Step, Province, Western Badlands secured. Let's immediately go into rebuild Lost Splendor. We can... Promenade, Elven Gardens, and Greater Grove. Honestly, that's pretty good. We'll keep those. Go for Colonnade, and go for Colonnade, but yeah, surprisingly good. Imrik. You can hit Dragonhorn Mines, and... There we go, save us about 500 gold per turn. And these guys are leveling, well, if not nicely, they're leveling. And Arwenel, I guess we're going to push you to Dog Karez, while Fern Harvest can march stance, or full speed stance, or whatever it is, up to Carrick Angazar. Oh, actually, wait. You can move up to Carrick Angazar. Like, wait, is that a camp? A moment. Go here. Ah, it is a camp, but it's... yeah. Alright, Fern Harvest. What I would like you to do is move here first as well, because what we can do is have you reinforce. Yeah, you're gonna go here. You are going to go right here. Wait. I wonder, you should be able to reach Carrick Angazar from here, so land him a Torcut to prevent this guy from attacking it. Then what we can hopefully do is push Fern Harvest to take Carrick Angazar and then move Fatilnai down to Zvorak faster. These guys are down to 3 territories, and we're certainly getting there. Alright, are you able to reach Dog Karez? Yes, indeed you are. Go for it. And Arwenil will move up here while waiting for her reinforcements. Feyadien, go to Eckendorf. You succeeded, well done. And you're gonna start fighting the undead, and probably we'll have to get into a war with Clan Angrand. I mean, they really don't like us. We've allied with way too many of their enemies. But that's their problem. They will meet the same fate of as Thorgrim and Caracazul. And hey, Alith and Anar. Alrighty. Ah, man. Margella's right there. I may have to get a temporary lord up to at Kar to defend. But I'm disinclined to not do this and punish Alith and Anar for his nonsense. It has to be done. Granted, Erathon's been getting a lot of screen time, but I don't see anybody complaining about it. Let's see what we got here. You, sir, have retinue trainer now and commander, and to favored by Isha. I guess we can go into Colossal Strike. So Woundmaker, Colossal Strike, good. You, mage. Kind of tempted to go into scouting now. I mean, you've been doing good work, and we prioritize Transformation of Kadon over something like Curse of Anra here anyway, so let's do that first. We'll still probably max out Curse of Anra here, because it's quite good. And now, you will hit Slaver's Point. Decent pile of enemies, but Alith and Anar, you've made a terrible mistake here. I fear... Oh, what is this? Passive Horn of Isha, rare banner. Reload skill +5, melee attack +5. Oh, that's swell. Are we able to steal these? I would like to steal that and put it on a unit of Sisters of Avalorn. Should be fun. Anyway, away we go. Alith and Anar versus... Hey, no. No auto resolve. Alrighty, here we go. The hour of judgment for Alith and Anar is at hand. I'd like to think that a Caledorian messenger arrived at Alith and Anar's capital and handed the Lord a single eagle feather as his message. Anyway, the Eagle Claws will start the battle with a massive bombardment from those piercing shots, or split shots rather, doing a decent bit of damage to the first of the enemy that they can fire upon. Arathon will split away from the rest of the Eagles and will head directly for the execution of Alith Anar, and with these stats that he currently has, which are basically on par with Imrik's, with the exception of his HP and his abilities, is a pretty nasty lord. Yeah, he's a very strong fighter. Anyway, over on the flanks we got more Eagles moving in, a little bit of eagle-on-eagle action out here as well, a Phoenix, or rather a fiery convocation going through the line of enemy range units, while the Noble and Talon Force 1 bring down the enemy Eagles here, who frankly should have turned upon their masters and joined Arathon instead. The other Eagles should have told him why. And down here, Arathon has found Alith Anar and already has brought him down to 40% HP, all the while the bolts from the Eagle Claws scream overhead. Ooh, I like the idea that well, if there are archers or maybe even the Eagle Claw bolt throwers, any range units in Arathon's army or armies would be designed so that, you know, like whistling arrows sort of deal, but they designed to make like a piercing shriek, like an eagle. Would be swell. Anyway, Alith Anar is already dead, and Arathon is just fine, gonna head towards this noble over here, who decided to throw in his lot with Alith Anar, and tremendously foolishly so, as he's got no chance against Arathon. Down to half HP already, terrified, broken in spirit, and soon in body as well. Alright, and how the rest of the enemy doing? So the enemy center has been pretty much obliterated already by the Eagle Claw bolt throwers, and by the looks of it we won't even need to send the Silverin Guard into the fray. Over on the flanks, many enemy range units are being obliterated by the Eagles, ripped apart and forced to bleed by the contact effect, though the Shadow Warriors at least are giving us a little bit of a better fight than the regular Shadow Walkers. Okay, Shadow Walkers, Shadow Warriors. There's another Shadow type unit, but no. I guess it's all really the same to the Eagles anyway. Alrighty, nowhere to run, stuck between the trees and the beaks and talons. Sorry, High Elven archers. In Alith Anar. Oh, I can't believe you declared war on us again. What is this game? Why? I swear the AI just did that to try to annoy us. This is one of the reasons I don't generally like to ally with Durthu, because Durthu has a tendency to do this sort of stuff as soon as you get a alliance going with him, and I'm almost sure that he does it specifically once you ally with him, because it feels like he suddenly starts declaring war on random allied factions of yours when you're allied. But anyway, Alith Anar's clone, his shadow double, whatever it's called, is about to be ripped apart by Arathon as well, and down it goes. Not that we had to, but just for fun. Out here, the rest of the enemy army is, if not broken, in tremendously bad shape. One of our summoned eagles is hurt, but this is a summoned eagle, and so is this, so that's just fine. They've also probably done decent damage, 61 kills and 14k damage on summoned unit 1. This one hasn't done nearly as much, but I believe before fighting those High Elven archers, it was distracting an enemy unit of Shadow Warriors, and thus was having a little bit of a tougher time. Out here, the enemy reinforcements have arrived, an Archmage of Life who will be hunted by the Noble and by Arathon as well, and has little to no chance of survival, Spear Guard or not. Alrighty, and Arathon's Griffin screeching up a storm as it obliterates this poor unit of spears and hits the enemy Archmage hard. It looks like well, there's pretty much nothing left of the enemy army. Really not much to say, and by the looks of it, in fact, they all begin to shatter, and with that, rather quickly, the battle is ours. What did you think was going to happen, Alith Anar, especially with us having already taken Karond Kar and having a base in your territory, essentially? Oh well, too bad for you. And oh damn, that was a hard hit. I guess, yep. That poor Archmage. One more hit and she'll go down, and it looks like we'll not be able to escape this particular army. Beautiful. Alright, well, with that, we've got a little bit of chasing to do, but only on the units that came in as a reinforcement, because they were outside the settlement. Could use some yakety sacks here. There we go. Hey, we did actually steal a Horn of Isha, fantastic, and this is an area effect as well. Damn, I was not expecting that, but I'm so happy about it. I didn't even know if whether it was possible or whether it was a unique thing to these guys. Bit of a shame that we hadn't gotten any of these on our own so far. But once again, a very nice acquisition, especially for a hybrid melee and ranged army. Would be fantastic on Lothern Seaguard or Sisters of Avalorn or Gateguard or anything along those lines. Anyway, another beautiful win from Arathond and his Eagles. Honestly, at this point, I'm kind of starting to see Arathond like Imrik's personal executioner. Dude just casually flies in, by himself, mind you, into the middle of the Shadow King's army, executes him, then executes his clone just to erase his memory, then executes his noble for following him, and while the Eagles cause havoc in the background, and is completely fine. Beautiful work, Arathond. And what a legend. Occupy. And this little army will run, but that hardly matters. Can it even escape out of here? Yeah, it looks like it can escape. Hero action cost we don't care about, but hero action success chance all characters faction-wide should actually help the influencers and the tech thieves nicely. Honestly, in our particular situation, this may not be a terrible thing to stack if we could get a few more defeats on the guy. We shall see, however, as it certainly does depend. Decent likelihood these guys will take at least some of their territory. Not much we could do about that, but I suppose we could potentially try to trade them for the full Karand Kar province, or Obsidian, or Klar Karand rather, Obsidian Peaks province. Now, it won't help us too much with the Clawed Coast situation, because we still want the Shrine of Cain. And we need to offer something. Well, the Black Forests are a decent option, if we can grab that before these guys do. Because we could build 3 military structures there, and probably they would be willing to trade the Shrine of Cain for territory with 3 military structures. But anyway, we'll consider that as we go. Also need to summon a lord here, but I'll do it later. Anyway, Belharathor. Now, you are not quite in range of Shakara here, although... Or actually, am I lying? You're just in range of Shakara, though I guess the question will be, will she run? Will she stay or will she go? Also, go up here and secure influence once again. Success, very nice, and a level. Alright, let's do a little bit of moving around with our heroes and our other stuff. You're gonna go to Spite Reach, and you're gonna go to the Black Pillar. And keep on acting as scouts as well. Success and success. Lovely. Alright, now I also would like to see whether there are any new nobles. Frugal, conscientious, diplomatic relations, hero, crew, tranquil, order. Oh, wow, that's quite good. It's quite good. And we got another dynamo as well. We got trained, practiced, intolerable. I was looking for another emollient one, but it looks like we don't have one there. Let's also take a look at the lore masters, in case there's another fruitful one. There's still the fecund one. We could get him on the field and delete him. Ooh, widely known. Hello. 10% upkeep reduction for swords masters and white lions. I think we don't have enough space in the white lion army, but well, more of these guys in Teclis are, and there's that disciple one. I think we can't let the disciple go. It's too valuable to Teclis. So I do think that we should put him in the army. What's the likelihood that he gets deleted this turn? Oh, hey, Tic Tac. You're adorable and I love you. Anyway, let's summon it here, because we're going to be building up Teclis' army here anyway, because he's not going to be needed once Kairos and the Chaos forces are gone. Let's get you your disciple. And we'll get a second one if we can. Tempted to get the fecund one as well, though. Once again, we can always delete it. We still have a lot of growth benefit from it. Oh, we're at 10 out of 13 on nobles. We should summon more influencers. It's just that these guys don't have particularly good traits. I mean, we don't necessarily have to have good traits on them. I mean, you can get a few with bad traits, just because they're free. Something potential for that as well. But for now, you, sir.
Servant of
And let's take a look at the handmaidens as well. Incompetent, intolerable, flat-footed. Oh, we don't have any more. Well, there isn't any good ones in there anyway. I was about to say we don't have any more influence. We're just using it all up on heroes. But every turn, it makes us stronger, so I ain't complaining. Alright, the rest of you are good. This guy is a grower, right? Yeah, you guys go here.
quest must wait.
Get a nice big old grow up at the Fortress of Vorag. Oh, speaking of Fortress of Vorag, go here. And let's see. So we can either build... I mean, we should have a dragon building here, but we can get it at tier 5. We don't necessarily have to get it at tier 4. It's just that we want more phoenix capacity. I do want various other kinds of phoenixes. On the other hand, Recruiter Zamdilla, you're done recruiting for now. We'll wait on the Frost Hearts because we don't have an army for them yet. Oh, maybe the Ithilmar Chariots would be better served in the Frost Army. Working together with the Frostheart Phoenixes to slow enemies down. It'd be interesting. There was that Exemplar Princess as well. Is she still around? Yeah, she's still here. Could use a bunch of chariots with the Ice Force. In theory. As potential. Anyway, I'll think about it. But for now, you need to march up and transfer all of this to the Fire Army. And we'll have somebody else recruit some fire dragons. Where can we recruit fire dragons, incidentally? We don't have them here. We need additional capacity for them that... Oh, right, we need one more building to be constructed. Right now we only have the option, I think, to build the one. And that's just not enough. I mean, I guess... Alright, fine. Start with the fire building here. Cover the dragon's lair. And that'll enable us to build them out of the Fortress of Vorag. You will then go back up to Crookback Mountain. Oh, wait. Crookback Mountain's right here, isn't it? This is Darkhold, which is not part of the same territory. Alright, go here. Alright, that does it. Belharathor. Alright, you are potentially possibly gonna fight, but we'll see about it in a second. Larishian, you are heading up to the shipwreck, which you just can't reach. So go right here where you won't suffer attrition. And we'll still have to keep an eye on what's going on all over this place. Are you guys at war with Katep? You're not. Damn, so they won't even be able to take the Shrine of Cain. Oh, well. Alright, Recruiter Zamdilla, I did not move you because I'm stupid. You're going here. I got distracted and then moved you elsewhere. Melinda, you are supposed to land here. Don't trespass. Land here. And then you'll probably start recruiting some stuff next turn. We may have a recruiter do it elsewhere. Anyway, Influencer. Available again. Success. Alright. He got so scared of being turned into Beledna the crit failure that he now succeeded twice in a row. Tech Thief. Guess we could get here. What the heck? Vampire Counts Rebels. How did that happen? What? How did Vampire Counts Rebels happen here? Is there even a vampire faction down here? Seems unusual to me, especially with all this Skaven corruption, but, well, sure, why not? Whatever. Weird, but okay. Dydrarus, you are supposed to join Arwenil, and by the looks of it, you can't reach her this turn, but you're both gonna go to Dok Karaz anyway, so start moving up there. While waiting for reinforcements, Architect Enna, do you need to move anywhere to build anything? Well, Harkaldra still needs buildings, so I guess we can keep it up. In theory, we won't need the enchanted walls here at Nagarond after a little bit, but for now, keep them there. I guess you could move down to Hagrief briefly. And then reduce the costs and the time of building the thing at Cragroth Deep. There you go. Alright, if we had more influence, I'd probably get a few more architects just to reduce construction time and stuff, but we don't right now. Shrok Mount, you're probably too far for this turn, right? We can also wait for the turn. We'll see how much money we have at the end of the turn, and then we'll decide. Alright, Belharathoi, looks like you're about to fight again. Let's get a tech chosen, and then let's move on into it. What do we have out of this? Keep protection in enemy territory. It's not as useful as friendly territory, because usually we end every turn in friendly territory because we conquer pretty much at every territory. This gives us campaign line of sight. This gives us construction time for wall and garrison, which is fine, but it's not anything crazy. The only thing that tempts me out of this is the Disciple of the Phoenix, but is it worth 5,000 gold and a turn of research? Not 100% sure on it. I think those can wait. We got great weapons available, which will power up a bunch of the most elite units, so we can wait on that. We've got Illyrian Reaver upkeep, but that's not relevant because it's just not strong enough, though the range ain't too bad. Upkeep for Silver Helms. Oh, Silver Helms and Chariots. We haven't done a Silver Helm army yet. Granted, they're going to be inferior to Dragon Princes, but... And then upkeep production for Great Eagle Warlions and Fiend. Oh, that's actually not bad. And this buffs them up as well. Yeah, fine. Go into Anuli Roots. At least until we unlock these things, because there's a bunch of good stuff here as well. Income from trade tariffs. Whoa. That's, huh. I actually don't know what... I wish it would, like, have, like, a little calculation tooltip of, like, a prediction of how much this would do, because... Yeah. It's difficult to know which thing to go for. Anyway, Melaharathoi. Try to go after Shakara. Let's see if she runs or fights. Oh, I'll level you up just in case. You don't have Quartermaster maxed out, but we were going to get you loose, and I guess that is still to be the case here. You do have decent casting capabilities, but obviously you need more mana and stuff. But these guys are all rank 7, so we should try to get them leveled up with their 7th rank bonuses. You, sir, have replenished troops maxed out, and why am I even bothering with Retinue Trainer? You're maxed out. We could try to move into Favored by Isha. Yeah, you know what? Experience of years isn't bad. It's a decent buff for you. Go for it. And see if they fight. In theory, this army is very weak by virtue of being just basic units, even if they are super Vanguard deployable. So you shouldn't be afraid. And therefore you're full... it's low casualties. You know what? We've seen this army fight enough. Take the money? Yeah, take the money. Alright, I'm reasonably happy with that. Oh, I didn't realize this would be attrition. Okay, it won't kill off the Illyrian Reavers, but that was dangerous. Maybe you should not have done that. Anyway, go into Lilith's Blessing and get some of your mana back. We'll head to Spite Reach next turn, though I fear we'll have to actually manually fight it, lest you die, or lest your Illyrian Reavers die. Anyway, we got building buildings, and we got diplomacy, and we got another end turn available to us. So, Diplo first. Laura Lorne. I see you're still alive. Somehow, some way. Get us that trade. Wait. Wardens of the Living Pool. Mountain Eaters, well, they might still be willing to trade after Laura Lorne, so I think we'll wait on that. Hey, Bordello Errant getting friendlier. That's good. Confed still around the same level. We'll need to do it via influence. I don't see any other way. The other Elven factions are just too strong. Laura Lorne, trade. And let's double check. Yeah, Wardens of the Living Pool are also still willing to trade and willing to go into non-aggression and military access as well. I'm hoping that Bordello Errant doesn't hate them, because they're allied with the Cult of Sotek and with the Itza. Keep everybody nice and friendly. It looks like we're going to be making friends with all the lizards except for Mazdamundi. But he is a little bit of a mania. I mean, his entire, well, not his entire story, but the big portion of his story is that he literally woke up and chose violence. That's literally what Mazdamundi is all about. But anyway, he's a funny guy. Let's see. Building time. Dreadrock Gap. Deadrock Gap. I like Dreadrock back. Gap, a better elven artisan for you. Broken Teeth. Oh. You're still in Rally Citizen Militia. Yeah, we'll switch you to Rebuild Lost Splendor here. There's a lot of stuff to be built, and we're not recruiting for this particular turn, though you should probably transfer these guys to another lord so you could go back to recruiting stuff. Do we have... We could use Larithiel for this purpose. Oh, we could use this guy, Ill-Prepared Man. Or Fey Man. Doesn't matter who? It does not matter who. Go on here. We'll transfer, and then we'll go back for recruitment. Probably not this turn, but besides, we could send you somewhere where you can recruit dragons instead, whether they be moon or sun. Alright, back to building. Iron Man. No, I missed the broken. No, I did not miss the broken teeth. That'll be next turn. Truck deck mount. I was going to potentially reduce you. Alright, fine. Let's reduce you and do you next turn. Karakazgil, let's reduce you and do you next turn. And see, this is what happens when I don't check them every single turn, every single one by one, even if it does save time. Doc Karaz. This is all quite expensive. I think maybe we wait until we take Doc Karaz here. Although, furs. Just build a colonnade for now. I'd rather save the money and then build more stuff afterwards. Grod we will upgrade immediately because of the gold mine, however, and the need for higher level colonnades. Karakazgel, you're fine, or you're Azul, rather. Great, now I'm confusing Asgaraz and Angazar and Asgal and Azul, as well as Karak Vrag and Karak Vlag. Yeah, okay. Get used to it. Broken Lands, we are already switching commandments there, and there's a lot of stuff to upgrade there in Kar, so we'll wait on that. Griffin Gate, you're fine. 8 Peaks, you are switching. We're switched already. Gringo Correz, yes to the growth, yes to the public order, and lastly, Death Pass. Let's upgrade that iron mine. Oh wow, that was expensive. That's why. It's expensive because you haven't switched. And the switching doesn't matter because it reduces the construction time by 1 anyway, so that that works out. Anyway, I believe we're good to go to end the turn minus needing a hero here in case Kar gets attacked. Do we have any free mages? Because it would be a mage that's needed. Morella's back. Alright, fine, use Morella. And we'll get her spells. And I guess temporarily we will get her dedication to Vol for the industry building upgrade faction-wide. Anyway, you're gonna need Hand of Glory. We'll want Arcane on Forging here. Definitely greater potency and greater ward just in case. Apotheosis should be maxed out. Shield of Sapphire should be gotten. These guys probably don't have anything in the way of flyers. Do they?
The goddess forbids it.
So no need for Tempest, and I think Hand of Glory will be more useful on the walls. Definitely max out Fiery Convocation, and let's get Absolute Control so we can cast a little bit more, because Arcane on Forging is a little bit too expensive. Not going to bother with items, I think that's more than enough to be able to hold the line, so skip, and... Okay, 1 second, sorry guys, I have to feed my cat, he's been meowing, it's very hard to concentrate. Alright, sorry about that. It's very hard to concentrate when you're trying to talk, and then every few seconds there's a mo. But what can you do? Anyway, we're basically out of time anyway, but I do still kind of want to end the turn so I could at least take care of the admin between the episodes, or such admin that remains. Do we need items on you? I don't know, whatever, go. Unless there's a second army, I'm pretty sure she'll be fine, and that's what we were expecting, ambush from Kairos, but that's fine, it's what we want. We don't actually care about any single unit in this particular army, with the exception of Teclis, as he's not actually going to keep any of them, so we'll fight like this. Go.
For Ulf-One!
Alrighty, here we go. We wanted this. We landed right outside of Kairos' territory, knowing full well that he would immediately teleport on top of us and ambush our army. Mostly we don't care because, well, none of the units in this army really matter, outside of Teclis and the Lore Master and the Omen of Assyrian Phoenix. So, we'll see how we can do, and if we destroy this army, this should effectively break Kairos' faction for good. One quick note before we get started with the battle proper, however. A little note from future Ruinous. As you guys know, at the end of episodes I do have a tendency to do a little bit of admin, do a little building, a little diplomacy, just to cut down on the screen time, essentially. And that is wasted, essentially, especially since we do plenty of admin during episodes as well. Anyway, while doing that at the end of this particular episode, what I noticed was that we got a Confederation option, which we will then do next episode. The Confederation choice will be between Eataine and Avalorn, so Tyrion or Alariel at the current time are both willing to join our faction, and so I come to you guys to ask the question as to who we should actually confederate with right now. Because the Confederation in SFO has a massive debuff with public order. Well, yes, public order, but relationship with other high elves, we'll probably be able to get one and then have to wait a significant while before we get the other. So we have to figure out which one we want to do first, and they both have their advantages. Tyrion will give us access to Tyrion, but also give us access to Alistar, so effectively 2 legendary lords, though on the other hand we already do have a White Lion army, and it would just give us a second White Lion lord. Tyrion would also give us, I think, 3 landmarks, as he currently has access to the White Tower of Hoeth, as well as Lothern and the Shrine of Asuryan. And plus Lothern itself is a big special settlement which would enable us to essentially create a military hub in the in Ulthuan in general, which would free up Val's Anvil. On the other hand, Alarielle would give us access to, well, Alarielle herself, which would give us faction-wide buffs of various kinds, plus a couple of landmarks of her own, the Gaian Vale, and she has another one, I think Torrelir, or one of the other places. Plus, she would give us access to her forest spirits. I mean, we wouldn't be able to build them, but we would be able to get forest spirits that she already has recruited. And I guess the same goes for Tyrion and his exalted units. Once again, there's pros and cons to both, and I'd like to hear what your guys' opinion on it is. And, you know what? I might put this to a vote. I might use the sort of free Patreon aspect, because there's like you can put polls on it that are free. I might use that. Because I don't want to really spam the, like, community tab with, like, individual campaign votes, which I have been meaning to use a little bit more. I'll think about it either way. Let me know what you guys think about Tyrion versus Alarielle either way. Now, we've started the battle off, and Kairos has split his forces into 2 armies, or essentially 2 separate forces. Teclis has been dropping at least a few spells on one of them, while the other is being distracted, at least in part, by our Illyrian Reavers. We have sacrificed a fair few of these guys to the fires of the Flamers of Tzeentch, and they're going to just try to move away and peel them away from joining the fray against our spears and against our archers. Just trying to get these guys into position, trying to get the Eagle Claw Bolt Throwers to escape the fray and set up behind the rest of our army so that they can actually fight. Alrighty, looks like, the Golden Griffin of Theurgy is coming in to join Kairos as well, looking pretty cool with those golden glowy wings, although this feels a little buggy in terms of just how glowy this is. Still looks pretty darn cool from a distance, though. I do find it neat that it does look fancier than Kairos does. Anyway, Kairos, as you can see, is not attacking Teclis because the Omen of Asuryan and Teclis both have attacked Exalted Flamers down here, though most of the blue and pink horrors around Teclis have been cleared by his spellwork. The rest of the army, however, is still attempting to fight the enemy off, while the Illyrian Reavers are still leading 3 of those Flamers around. And that's, I think, a pretty important aspect to this particular battle, as if these 3 had been able to join the battle here, or frankly, if these 2 Exalted Flamers had been able to join the battle here, our spears and our archers would have been easily destroyed. Now, that said, it's working out reasonably well so far. This Exalted Flamer is nearly done for, as Teclis has nearly destroyed it. And will begin melting away shortly, and it's also soon time to charge forth and attack the Flamers down here with our Illyrian Reavers. The Illyrian Reavers may be weak in melee, but I think should be strong enough to kill off the Flamers. And come on, charge them before they get a volley of. Beautiful. Charging on in and get them stuck in melee. Gonna get ready to charge the range units of Illyrian Reavers in as well. They'll get a few volleys off even as they charge and drop a few of the enemy Flamers. But the main idea here is to prevent these guys from getting any more of those flames off. Beautiful. They are trapped now and should be ripped apart. And at least one of them will begin crumbling. Looks like Kairos gets upset at that whole situation and drops a firestorm upon a few of our units. We can see the corpses of Plenty, an Archer, and Illyrian Reaver out here. But it's still going reasonably well. The bounce power shifts to about 80% in our favor now. Kairos is being distracted by Teclis and our Lore Master of Hoeth here. who was previously fighting this exalted hero Tzeentch, but now with Kairos distracted, all of our range units are going after him as well, and he's quickly dropped down to about a quarter of his HP. Back there, the Omen of Assyrian, I believe, is still working on the Exalted Flamer. It's not dead yet, but it hasn't been able to get any of its attacks off, and that works just fine for me. Alrighty, a Spirit Leech comes down from our Lore Master. The Eagle Claw Bolt Throwers deliver a few piercing bolts right to the heart or hearts of Kairos, who, in anger, will be banished. I just want to see his death animation. I don't recall seeing Kairos' on-ground death animation that often. I think even in this campaign, we usually knock him out of the air. Nice. He seems just as upset as Scarbrand is about the whole dying thing or being banished thing. But anyway, it looks like with Kairos done, the Exalted hero will shatter, and by the looks of it, in fact, we've managed to shatter pretty much the entirety of Kairos' ambush. Only the Golden Griffin of Theurgy, the Regiment of Renown of Lord of Change, is still up and running, but we can simply Net of Amontalk it while it's up in the air, and then arrow it down and Eagle Claw it down until it is no more. Beautiful. Alright, not much work from that particular Lord of Change, and while we have taken damage, it's not nearly as much damage as it could have been. Well done once again, Teclis, and now you are one settlement away from breaking Kairos' faction for good and stopping any of those stupid settlement trading shenanigans and any alliance breaking or any other shenanigans that the Oracles of Tzeentch can pull. Alrighty, that went really well. I mean, a lot of the damage we took was from the firestorms and Kairos' spell work. He did get 26k damage on us, which is reasonably solid, but A, we had heals available to us, and B, the rest of the army didn't do nearly as well as they could have. Now, it's nearly 4k in money, but we are in attrition territory, so I think we have to forego it because we'll suffer attrition. We still need to take the enemy's settlement right after. Tempting as the 4k is. Forced labor, once again, very nice work, Teclis. 30k damage, though relatively limited compared to what we usually do, simply because of the silence constantly on Teclis there. He spent, like, I don't know, maybe 80% of the battle not being able to cast due to that darn silence on him. But oh well, it clearly wasn't enough for Kairos to actually carry the day, so we're still looking good. Out here, we have to wait for Malice's faction, Hag Grief, to see whether they're going to attack us or not. Unless we've already passed them. I always forget where in the order the Dark Elves are. Military access with Tyrannok. Now you want military access, eh? And a defensive alliance. I mean, I guess, originally Mazda Mundi, the you two were having problems with each other, but you know what, at this point we're probably not going to make friends with Mazda Mundi, so go for the defensive alliance, we'll build another outpost, and that'll just mean more influence per turn for us, which I don't think anybody can complain about. Getting 54 per turn now, which ain't bad. At the very least it allows us to get a single good, strong hero every turn, but, well, we'll need bigger numbers than that. Anyway, folks, with that, I do believe... This guy's gonna besiege Blacklight Tower right after we gave it to these guys. And Sisters of Twilight have captured Shrine of Ladriel. In theory, we should probably go for the monoliths and ignore Karand Kar with the hopes... Man, you know what I should have done? I should have had Morella recruit some stuff. I imagine it'll still be okay. I'll figure it out. Anyway, as I said, we're out of time with that, folks, and I am... Ooh, hello, Kazarak is here. Does he have a good defeat rate? I think he might have a good defeat. Man, minus 60 diplomatic relations with all factions. That's actually worse than... That's worse than the Sword of Cain, right? I think that's worse than the Sword of Cain. Huh. All things considered, while it's there's some solid buffs there. I wonder if it's worth it. Anyway, ooh, Azazel and Festus, you are crossing into Wood Elves territory. Oh man, should we save the hippies? I mean, they are allied to us now, and their units do work nicely with ours as well. Anyway, I keep getting distracted because there's still a lot of fun stuff by the looks of it on the map. And, oh, Kolek, you're going to be taking territories from the ogres. And I see Grimgor is still alive, and have you pieced out? Oh, he's pieced out with Kolek as well, which might allow Grimgor to recover. Yeah, like I said before, the walls are indeed closing in. Well, at least in some territories. And Village is doing quite good here as well. Anyway, for like the 15th time, I am going to call the episode here. Next time, ooh. I still have this fight to do. Next time we'll probably take the Temple Avenue of Gold and then promptly trade it to the Lizardmen, the Last Defenders, for hopefully a defensive alliance. We will proceed, or continue proceeding, through the Southern Chaos Wastes, and start building probably a couple new armies as well. We're still not quite ready with the Tier 5, so still none of the super elite units, no Phoenix Guard or Dragon Princes or Arcane Phoenixes, but that's just a matter of growth. I think I've been pumping growth pretty much as we possibly can, and it's not getting any more than or greater than we currently are. So we just got to be patient and wait until the buildings and territories are ready for it. Anyway, more Imrik to come, so stay tuned. Don't forget to leave those likes and comments below, especially the threshold, which remains at 300 likes and 50 comments. All glory to the algorithm,
Princess of Ulthuan.
and thanks for watching.